Let's say everything is and everything's always been. That means infinity makes sense. That means that the universe has no end. But how could everything always exist and everything always be? Well, let me start with one definition: source. Source is everything that is, everything that's ever been, everything that ever will be is source. On the first dimensional plane, which is just moving forwards and backwards, source has all the activities, source has all the experiences that have ever been experienced on the 1D plane. On the 2D plane, an ant can move forwards, backwards, left, and right. All of an ant's interpretations, all of an ant's experiences are captured in source. On the 3-dimensional plane, let's say organisms like ourselves and every other organism that's ever walked this earth. All experiences from all of us organisms are captured in source as well. On a 4th-dimensional plane, let's say all of 4th-dimensional planes experiences are also considered in source. Why am I going into the 4th-dimensional? Why am I claiming that there's a 4th dimension? Well, because science has proven that we cannot see all the colors in this universe. We cannot hear all the frequencies in this universe. That says that there is more out there than we can interpret. That means that there is more out there than we have seen. And life is not all just from our eyes. What am I talking about? I'm saying that life, how we experience it, is not how life truly is. There is more to life than just how we experience it. If a bird experiences life in the sky, but we have not seen the sky, does that mean the sky does not exist? If a fish swims deep in the ocean, but we have not been down there deep in the ocean, does that mean that that does not exist because we have not seen it? No, it clearly does not mean that. That means that there is more out there that we have not experienced. If there are colors that cats can exhibit, cats can see, that we cannot see, does that mean that those colors do not exist because we cannot see them? No, that is a superior complex that we are painting on ourselves to believe that we are the only organism, we are the most superior organism, and there are no other organisms that can experience life to the experience that we can experience it. That's what that is. So I'd like to start with that to claim that there are more dimensions than just the 3rd dimension. And if there are more dimensions than just the 3rd dimension, what does that mean? That means that there are things out there that we cannot experience, that we do not understand just yet in this physical body. There are capabilities to this physical body. There is a point this physical body can no longer experience what is out there for us to experience. I'm hinting towards a bunch of laws in the universe that exist, and just because you can't see them, just because you can't hear them, just because you can't smell them, doesn't mean that they don't exist. They're still there. You just don't see them right now in action. In a dream, you walk around, you can float, you follow a course of action in your dreams. When you sleep at night and you are in your dreams, you follow a course of action that plays out like it plays out. There's a thing called lucid dreaming, which is the awareness of a dream. You being aware of your dream and having the facilities to exhibit any type of dream that you wish to exhibit. In a lucid dream, you will notice that when you walk around and you try to manifest something in your facility, it will appear there. It will appear there instantaneously. If you want the guy with the gun who's pointing it at you to disappear and turn into a parrot, he will turn into a parrot before your eyes, before your lucid dreaming eyes. This means that in the state of mind of a dream, you're able to manifest quicker. You're able to manifest what you want at a much faster degree. For those of you that are new, manifesting means the ability to have what you envision in your mind appear in front of you, appear in your reality field. Reality field being what is surrounding you. Your reality field being like, if I stretch my arms out and I stretch my arms out this way, this is my reality field. I will get into what exactly manifesting is in this physical body, and I will prove it to you in this video. First topic at hand, the law of attraction. What is the law of attraction? You visualize in here, and you believe in, and you firmly believe in, and you work towards that, you will get it in your life. So in modern physics, there's something called the double slit experiment. What the double slit experiment wanted to measure was how matter moves and how matter acts. They want to measure how matter acts. So what they did is they took something that shoots matter, made a slit and shot those photons or that matter through to produce an interference pattern. You get a straight line. When you have two slits that are used, you get an interference pattern. A pattern to show that matter acts as a wave. But then they did something else. They're like, okay, how about we measure how many photons actually go through? When they set the measuring up to look at how many photons are going through, the photons changed what they did.
The electron went back to behaving like a little marble. It produced a pattern of 2 bands, not an interference pattern of many.
They started acting in a way, following just the 2 slits that are right there, and is designing a pattern such like that. This is crazy. They're like, how does this make sense? How can matter act in 2 different ways? That makes no sense. We know matter to be matter, but then when we view it, matter has a wave interference pattern, has the view that it just went through the 2 slits. They try to come up with conclusions on what exactly this is, but the one that makes the most sense to me, the one that consciousness is conscious at an atomic level, that these atomic photons know that we're watching them, and based on them knowing that we're watching them, they act different. That they act in a different way due to knowing how we're watching them and that we're actually watching them. And this is kind of crazy to think about that. Okay, if this is the conclusion to that, what does this entail on a bigger scale? Because this is on the quantum physics level. What does this entail into my life? What does this entail into your life? What does this entail into all of our lives? Well, what it entails is that our decisions matter. What we focus our mind on will appear. How did I just jump from there to there? Well, think about it right here. If on a level of viewing the smallest thing in the world, if the smallest thing in the world is conscious of the fact that it is being watched, that it is being measured, and it changes its ability based on that, it changes from a non-physical form to a physical form, our thoughts can also do the same. That what we focus on will also change from just thoughts into things. That the law of attraction will work in such fashion that what we think about something that we want, we think about that brand new car, out in source, out in the void, that car exists. It is not physical, but all the parts for that car to enter my reality field are there. And for me to think about that allows for those photons, allows to enter my reality field. That's the conclusion that you come to. You come to the conclusion that your thoughts actually matter and your thoughts are things. Modern science has not jumped to this conclusion just yet, but they are going to get there. This will be common knowledge. It is slowly peeking up from under the ashes as we have physicists like Robert Lanza and Bob Berman who are currently examining this. Robert Lanza being a Wake Forest associate professor in the physics department. We have people who know about this kind of stuff and who really look into it and prove the validity of it. So the law of attraction being real, is it real? Well, let me think into my own life. I've done things in my own life where I did not have the grades in school that I wanted to get a job where you need good grades, where you need good connections to get into. And by me driving near that place every single night in my car, I would drive by that place. I would take photos of the place that I wanted to work at and I'd post on my Snapchat story just for myself. And slowly and surely, I started to become that person. It was never a definite goal of what I wanted to do. It was more that I know this is gonna happen. I know this is the life that I want. Me personally, I've experienced the law of attraction. And I've had many other people who've talked about it to me, about how they experienced the law of attraction.
Yo, my name is Kunal, aka Kun/Kuns, and I'm a friend of Noel. And yeah, I do believe in the law of attraction a lot. Like I use it in all aspects of my life, whether it is my studies or my work. Like I've got a YouTube channel as well called Shares. The law of attraction is real. Like if you put your mind and energy towards something that you want to achieve in your life, then you can achieve it.
Hey everybody, love, peace, and blessings. KF Kai here. Shout out to No Boy for having me on his channel. I just want to give you guys a quick glimpse of my experience with manifesting. I am a believer in it 100%. It changed my life, got me closer with my family. It opened my eyes to the stuff people was doing around me that I wasn't seeing. Self-mastery is everything. I believe if everybody tapped into themselves, into their higher beings, their higher ethers, the world will definitely be a better place and it'll definitely change.
Hey, to me, manifestations is all about opening up the windows for everything positive that life has to provide you to achieve your goals. You want to set your intentions, and everything that you do, every action you take is going to be with those intentions in mind, and eventually you're going to achieve your goals. Some of the goals may be hard to achieve at first, or they may seem that way. But honestly, life has a mysterious way of working for everybody, and sometimes you're provided with opportunities that you thought you never would have had from the very start. So to manifest, of course, set your intentions, maybe use a vision board to do so, but accomplishing everything that you want to achieve and controlling that what you can is going to open up opportunities for the things that you cannot control. And honestly, that's the biggest part of manifestation, is attracting what you want by being what you want in the end.
And that's been eye-opening to me to see that the law of attraction at a fundamental level makes sense to me. That if we focus on something, it changes its form. That the things that you want in your life also want you. That they are attracted to you based on the way that you have your thoughts. Now, the next thing I like to talk about, how do we know that our thoughts are real things? We know that our thoughts are real things because in the past, they've tried to do studies on examining where exactly we are located. By we, I'm talking about the person who's talking right now, who's thinking this through. Like, look at yourself. Put your hand up right now. What told you to put your hand up? Who is the person inside of the body who's really fundamentally moving the person? Who are you? That is the question. Who are you? Try to think, am I the body? Am I the soul? What am I? It starts to be confusing to the point of what you really are. Scientists have tried to find who we actually are. And the conclusion that science will come to is that we exist in all cells of our body. The nucleus in every single body contains the fundamental programming, the fundamental underwriting of what exactly we are. And because of such, our bodies are able to reproduce and able to refunction themselves and reorganize themselves into the liking of what we need them to do. We truly do not know what we are in the brain. We are not a part of the brain. We are not a part of our figment imagination. This is real. This is actually occurring. This life that you are experiencing is right in front of you. So if we look at that, if we look at these two things, that one, everything is conscious in this universe. The smallest fundamental piece to life is conscious. That means everything is conscious. Think about how beautiful that is. This iPhone is conscious. This hoodie is conscious. Everything around us is conscious. So if everything is conscious and everything is consciousness, they're all building blocks to our own lives. The law of vibration. The law of vibration really states that everything is vibrating in this universe and everything is oscillating in this universe. What is oscillation? Oscillation is a periodic variation. It's basically the measure between two different states. If something's oscillating, it's moving back and it's moving forth. Now, how do we know that everything is oscillating? Well, at a fundamental level, atoms are oscillating. Atoms are oscillating objects. So items that are made up of atoms are also oscillating objects. So the desk in front of me, although it seems like a physical object, I do not have the capabilities to see that it is actually moving at a very, very, very fast rate. A faster rate than my eyes can perceive. My eyes perceive at a smaller frames per second than the desk is moving. Because of such, it feels like a physical object to me based on my experience in this life, based on how I interpret reality. So everything is oscillating and experiencing the same fundamental principle, and that means the whole universe is alive. Let's try to characterize what being alive is. Are we alive? I would say that we're alive. Are organisms alive? Like squirrels, like monkeys, like giraffes? Well, clearly they're alive. They eat, they function. And do we classify a plant as being alive? Well, we would, be something that we envision as being alive. But would you consider a rock to be alive? Are rocks alive? Well, clearly not. Rocks don't eat, rocks don't breathe. But rocks exist, and existing is also a fundamental key of being alive. A rock doesn't have a heart, but by thinking about the law of vibration, if everything is vibrating at a level that we cannot experience, maybe rocks experience life in such a way that we cannot interpret. That's where it gets fun to think about, because that's really what we claim. That everything in this universe, everything that is, everything that ever was, everything that ever will be, is vibrating at a different oscillation that we cannot interpret. And the things in your head that you picture can also move into your life, because there are things that move. Everything is made out of atoms, and it has the capabilities, it has the ability to manifest in your life. If you're still skeptical, watch a few of my other videos I will put up right here. Just watch them, because Drake talks about manifesting, X talks about manifesting. A lot of people that we look up to talk about manifesting in such a light, and this is the background knowledge behind it. Law of polarity. The law that there are two sides to everything, that there is a hot, there is a cold, there's a good, there's a bad. This law astonishes me. If we say that the universe is, always will be, and always was, then this law starts to make sense in our heads. Let's say that there are two lines. There is a very hot on this side and there's very cold on this side. In the middle, as we approach, we're going to reach a neutral state. You're going to have a little bit less hot, you're going to have a little bit less cold on both of the sides as you approach that neutral state. The hot and the cold timeline does not overlap with the good and the bad timeline. Those are two different segments of lines. Those are two different planes, good and bad, and hot and cold. But what you can do is you can change cold into hot. You can put something on the stovetop, and all of a sudden, this cold item becomes hot. Or you can put that hot item now into the fridge, and all of a sudden, this hot item becomes cold. So what can we take from this? Transmutation. Changing something from one state to another state. We can change good to bad. We can change hot to cold. If we can do this on a mental level in our heads, if we say that our thoughts matter, if we say that our thoughts become things and our universe is to our advantage, we have the ability to change a negative experience in our lives into a positive experience in our lives. We have the ability to take something that has hurt us, that has destroyed us, that has made us feel worthless in this life, and to make it motivate us, to push us forward, to make it a reason to get out of bed and to put a smile on our face, because now we have a purpose. We have something that we're working towards. We have the ability to transmute ideas. We have the ability to transmute experiences in our lives from good to bad, from bad to good. A lot of times we like to transmute our ideas from good to bad. I hear people talking about a good thing and just downplaying it. That's not what I'd like to say. I'd like to say that you got to bring yourself up, that you got to take this negative experience and view it in a positive light. Because you can do that. You have the ability, you have the conscious mind ability to change your negative experiences into positive experiences and turn the whole shapeshift of what's going on in your head. That's what I love about the law of polarity. That things exist, things happen, everything is vibrating, everything is the same. It's all about how you view it. It's all about how you perceive a car. If I'm driving down the street and I'm looking for a red car, I'm going to see a red car. If I'm looking for a bad opportunity, I'm going to see a bad opportunity, and that's going to come into my life. Same way, if you want success, if you want to be a rapper, if you want to be an artist, if you want to go to grad school, if you want to be a worker, think about that, become that, because all of a sudden your thoughts will become things, as I mentioned, and the law of attraction will work in your favor. The law of rhythm. The law of rhythm states that things will oscillate from one state to another state, that there is a pendulum-like object. Imagine a grandfather clock. That's my favorite example. Imagine a grandfather clock that is swinging one way to another way, one state to another state. The grandfather clock switches in an oscillating movement. Think about this with respect to your mood. Some days you are happy, some days you are sad, some days you are crying, some days you are glad. I'm not Dr. Seuss, but it's really just in the standpoint that your mood will shift, that things in your life shift. Not every day will be a good day, not every day will be a bad day. Things will move in different ways. We experience winter, the months of December through March, and you experience summer in the summer months. Change will come. Change is inevitable. It doesn't matter what change is coming. It's about how you're going to react to that change. Introducing transmutation again. It's important to know how you're going to react to that situation. If something occurs in your life that makes you sad, you have the conscious mind to make up on what it feels like to you. How are you going to react to it? We will all experience the pendulum swing of the clock, the pendulum swing of events in our lives. There will be devastating things that occur in our lives. All is the same, all has happened, and all is just adding to source. You have the conscious ability to change those negative experiences and transmute them into positive experiences to your benefit at your liking. It is all in your disposal to do such. That is what the law of rhythm says, that things are going to happen, things have happened, things will happen, but it is up to you on how you want to interpret it. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Why not look at what you do? Why not analyze what you do and really change it? We see this throughout society too. We see that at work, you have work goals that you're supposed to strive towards. As a student, you have student goals that you're supposed to strive towards, and you're supposed to set these in front of you. Why not use this in your everyday life? Why not get a journal and write down what you want? Why not first thing when you wake up, visualize what you want and go get after it in the day? Why not use your negative setbacks to motivate you to the forwards? Why not look at a role model, someone who's done it, and start to align your thoughts into the way that they're thinking? When you do this, you align to the natural frequency of such. As I mentioned throughout this video, your thoughts will become those things because everything is the same and everything exists all at once, and everything that is. Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. So everything in here that will come into your life already pre-exists. It's just your thought that has to align with such for it to come into your reality field. These laws that I've described, these few laws that I've described to you, take you monumental ways. They are the underlying backbone to how exactly you get to where you want to be. But the overlying message is just that you have to focus your thoughts properly, that you have to convey what you think in a proper fashion, because what you think will truly come into your life. I saw a comment on this YouTube channel last week by Out of Order, and he said the following, that I'm not talking about the negative sides with regards to manifesting. And I'd like to touch on those right now. What I've just explained to you today is very powerful. It is very powerful material, and hopefully it touched you the right way, because this has the capability to really help you, but it also has the capability to destroy you. Watch where your thoughts go. You have to be careful with your thoughts, because what you want will truly come into your life. If you wish for something bad, that bad thing will come into your life. If you want to be a murderer, if you want to be a gang member, if you want to do and sell drugs, you will reap those rewards in your life. Things will come into your life that you put your thoughts towards. Truly watch where your thoughts go, because your thoughts will turn into things over time, as I mentioned. Being aware of where your thoughts go should be as a held priority, because you can drive yourself to the wrong places if you are unaware of such. Think about the thing that you want and then work towards it. And not only that, but realize that nothing in this life is attainable. Anything that you want, your deepest desires, can come into your life after enough effort. Love you. Thank you.